All right, y'all, it's the beginning of the rainy season finally. It's awesome. The rains are starting to come down. The overcast days are starting to present themselves. So it's finally time for a big chop and drop. The first major managing of the year in terms of bringing down the Mexican sunflower and Napier grass. So figured I'd just do a quick little before and after video so that I can see the difference. You can see how high the Mexican sunflowers got all winter into spring, helping to protect baby trees and stuff. You can also see where they're lacking. This area of more full sun, I kind of kept it without Mexican sunflower for the full sun aspect of it, but now that I'm going in the route of planting more turmeric, I definitely starting to add more Mexican sunflowers. You could just see how big they got, and some of them even started flowering, so that's another good sign that it's time for a pruning. So just do a quick little quiet walk of the system just so you can see the before and after of the Mexican sunflower and Napier grass prunings. I would like to mention as well that I already did some stratification pruning of like the this Corymbias and different little Royal Poincianas and stuff that I have. So I did some of the minor pruning like that. So now it's time for the big major pulse pruning of knocking back the surface crops. So just do a quick little before and after. It's going to be a lot easier to walk through the system after this pruning. I am kind of bummed every time I do this though, because that means my privacy buffer is going to be gone. So a lot of the kind of secludedness feeling of having a food forest goes away for a little bit. But yeah, you can see all these, you can even see the Napier grass just flopping over and stuff. And a little overdue for prune, to be honest, but I like keeping it bushy and shaggy because I have no irrigation out here and our dry seasons can be quite intense. So I'm also going to be pruning back like the native cabbage palms and stuff. I like to keep them shaggy and as well, and I purposely don't prune these lower branches off, these lower leaves off during the dry season. Shampoo gingers are all coming up, which is cool. But get all that biomass down to the ground and let the system pulse now that the rains are here and I don't have to worry about things getting baked in the sun. So yeah, I did some stratification pruning. Like I just pruned a lot of these service species up. A lot of the Royal Poincianas were coming back from the frost, so there was like multiple ones coming out. So I kind of just chose the strongest one and just prepared the stratification so that when I do the major pruning of the Mexican sunflowers, mainly, things will already be, in their spots, and things will have already been pruned for the future. So yeah, that's about it. And what I mean by like the stratification pruning, and just like this China berry was like super shaggy and it was kind of covering this Sterculia foetida. And like I said, a lot of these Royal Poincianas were kind of just crazy bushy and coming out from all the different places, kind of crowding out these little mangoes and all the other baby trees I have, like the little mahoganies and stuff. So I kind of just corrected them a little bit, cleaned them up, picked the healthiest shoots that are coming up from the Royal Poinciana, and just kind of cleaned it up. But anyways, time to cut these back. And yeah, we'll see the difference. Peace. Alrighty, so the major chop and drop is done. Took a good while. I left this Mexican sunflower hedge up just because I still need to use them for propagation. So for other properties and other clients. Barbados cherries, prison flower. No fruit though. But you can see it's a lot more clear now. So this first major chop and drop of the rainy season is usually the longest and the hardest because I purposely let things grow past their point so that they can protect the system during the winter. So now that this is done, it's going to be, the managing is going to be a lot easier because I'll be able to stay on top of it and not be worried about, drought, a dry streak or anything like that, because we're pretty much going to get some good rains these next few months. But yeah, that's the result. As always, just massive amounts of biomass. A couple notes I was thinking about when I was chopping and dropping is that, so yeah, you can see like the species that my target species now have that sunlight and that breeze. Bananas, jackfruit, which I'm experimenting with again, even though they might get frosted back. What else was there I wanted to show? Oh, here it is, cherry of the Rio Grande. It's gonna get a lot of sunlight and stuff. So the chop and drop, the way I do it, I like to really be conscious about where the material is gonna go after I chop it. I don't just like come in with the machete and just and then all the biomass just flies everywhere. You can see I very deliberately take the time to, as soon as I cut it, I have it in my hand, like I have the whole bunch. So say for example this Napier grass bunch, I'll like hold it like this, do the chop, and then I have that bundle in my hand, and then I go and drop it exactly where it needs to be. It's a lot more detailed work. It will definitely takes a lot longer, but it you don't have to do double the work, like just chopping and dropping and then picking everything up or raking things up and then putting them where you want them to be. I kind of just do it all in one motion. So you can see I consolidate the biomass into the places where I need them. Out of my way. Notice a lot of times when I kind of just am random with the biomass, it's tough for like the wheelbarrow to get through. Imagine my walkway has tons of like this, So I try to nowadays get the biomass out of the way of my access paths and into a very useful and thoughtful location. You can see the biomass just flanking a lot of the beds, laid down really nicely. And yeah, you can just see how much biomass it is. It's a lot, and it keeps sort of exponentially growing each year, which is cool. Not even each year, each month that goes by. But just kind of show the places where I did chop and drop. The Napier grass. Oh, another thing is that I do like to chop the Mexican sunflower first whenever possible, and then put the Napier grass on top. but sometimes there's not enough Napier grass, so it's just Mexican sunflower. Both species are extremely amazing. I like the Mexican sunflower for its just how soft it is and how easy it is to walk around through. Like when things get jungly, it's kind of hard to walk through the Napier grass because of all these prickly hairs. It's just not as user-friendly as the Mexican sunflower is, but the Napier grass as a biomass producer far, outperforms the Mexican sunflower. So you just gotta sort of know the ratio, I guess. How much do you want to deal with the spiky grass and get tons of biomass out of it, or would you rather deal with maybe not having as much biomass and having a chiller plant to like walk around in? Because I have access to tons of mulch, I opt to go heavier on the Mexican sunflower because I'm out here all the time. I walk around all the time with, not all the time with long sleeves, so I'd rather rub up against Mexican sunflower. But that being said, I definitely want to plant more Napier grass, maybe in areas that I'm not accessing all the time, because just look at that. The Napier grass is champion. But yeah, you can see just how much more open it is. This banana is gonna get that sunlight to photosynthesize and airflow. All of these mahoganies are gonna start finding their way up. The moringa's got a chance to shoot up now. Yeah, so that's about it. I kind of just wanted to make those 2 points of just take your time with the chop and drop. Don't just go willy-nilly and then have everything spread out everywhere. Be conscious of where you're gonna put it, and also just think about the ratio of Mexican sunflower to Napier grass in your system. Yeah, moringas are happy now. Moringas really don't like getting shaded out, so they're happy. Sterculia fuerte is happy. Mulberries are happy. They don't really like getting shaded out either. World's best mulberry. I got the really excited about the Psidium firmum arasado cerrado. There's one. Here's another one. Doing good. So yeah, things are opened up. No more privacy for me. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I've seen hedgerows of Napier grass planted like a double row. So yeah, this is a good point to make before I end the video. So you see how this is just one row of Napier grass? You're eventually gonna have to cut it regardless, because you don't want the Napier grass to be getting huge. But if you were to want to do to keep the windbreak effect and the privacy effect, you plant a double row of Napier grass on the edges of your system. So one here, let's just say, and like one here. Because I'm on a narrow, long property, I don't really mind. It's not like I'm trying to hide from my neighbors or anything. So, so you plant one here, plant one there, and then you would alternate the managing of them. So let's just say this one gets really big. Let's just say they're both really. All right, hold on. Yeah, you just alternate them, right? So one of them will get really big, you chop that one down, then the other one will start growing and get big, and then the other one's gonna start to grow from there, and then you chop that one, and you just flip flop them, and it's a way to continue having biomass production without losing the function of the privacy screen and windbreak, climate control, whatever. So, but yeah, always like to show the before and afters of these the major managings, because it's just a big difference, and you can see how much sunlight enters and how much more airflow and how much more access to just how much more biomass is on the ground. So you get the best of all the worlds. You know, you get tons of organic matter on the ground at the time of year when it starts to rain, and you want to like break that rain up, you know, so that it infiltrates into your mulch down there. And you get the sunlight coming in, so things aren't shading each other out. And you get the airflow, so things don't get fungal pressures and issues. So yeah, and you get the growth hormones from all that chop and drop. So so let the pulsing begin. Summer's officially here and it feels good. Peace.